Finally, we made it engine to turn 360 degrees. Well, we're back. As you can see, tractor is completely half, no engine. We're going back to our logic shelter and yeah, we'll start tearing engine apart and find it out why this engine doesn't want to turn 360s. Yeah, let's get started. Here we go. One more thing I would like to do before taking the engine inside. Let's remove the PTO shaft. Yeah, this long shaft goes from the engine through the transmission back to the PTO gearbox. It's pretty long. Let's remove the pressure plate, clutch disc, flywheel. Here's an engine on a pallet. Let's undo the pressure plate bolts. For my own reference, I'm going to do the alignment marks just to know later how everything was assembled and for inspection purposes as well. Yeah, one line to the flywheel down to the pressure plate, and I'm going to remove the rest of the bolts. Alright, bolts are removed. Let's pry the pressure plate with the clutch disc out and slide it off. As you can see, everything's pretty rusty. Yeah, it's lots of friction material still on the clutch disc. Not too bad. Alright, now let's undo PTO shaft damper clutch disc Allen screws. I'm just breaking them loose with a ratchet and Allen socket, and then I can get them all the way out with a impact. Here we go. As you can see, yeah, never ever use the impact on Allen screws before breaking the bolts loose, because most likely you will round the head. Alright, next step will be just to pull the damper disc with the PTO shaft out. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, this is a very long shaft. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, critics, suggestions, put everything down in the comment section below under the video. It will be interesting to read. Alright, let's do one more alignment mark at the flywheel and the engine block. I'm just doing them for my own reference, and that way I can check how everything was assembled. I put all fasteners in separated bags to keep everything in order. Almost time to pull the PTO shaft out. A little bit of penetrating oil, it's all rusted, and let's pull that shaft out with the damper disc. Here we go. There's a pilot bearing on the very end, and that's our PTO shaft. Yeah, that's how you remove the PTO shaft from the tractor. Bearing is pretty rusted. Now time to remove the flywheel. I'm making a reference mark to the flywheel down to the crankshaft, and we're using 14mm socket to remove the flywheel bolts. Yeah, the whole way around. I'm going on a cross pattern. Well, if you're first time to the channel, take a second to subscribe. Very appreciated that. Well, it doesn't cost anything. Alright, bolts are removed. Let's pry the heavy duty tractor flywheel out. It's pretty heavy. Ooh. Alright, flywheel is removed. Now, as you can see, everything's exposed. Now we're going to remove our plate, 12mm socket. Yeah, let's knock it off, hammer it out. Here we go. This plate was sandwiched between the engine and transmission bell housing. All good now. We're going under the roof. Here we go. Here's our little Shibaura. And we have N844L, which is the same as Perkins 404D22. Yeah, let's try to turn and see how far we can go. It's 90, right? That's it. I would say probably 120. Still the same issue as we know. All right, yeah. Comfort is first, after the safety. Of course, safety is first. All right, let's crack the vent plug. 17 mil socket. Okay, 17 mil socket. Might have some oil sipping out. The water, it's dirty. Yeah, contaminated. Yeah, okay. Let's spin it around. It's the beauty of a cherry picker. You can adjust the height, spin it around. Well, my engine stand doesn't fit this motor well. Tool bench set up, pretty much everything I need. And over here, just 16 inches away from my belt, I have my basic breakdown toolbox. It's not a box, it's a bag. All tools I need, and I have a tray to work and put all parts. And we can tip it over. Alright, good. Alright, we have a engine upside down. A little bit of coolant came out. I used the old seat belt and original engine mounting bolts. Screw inside the bottom of the block. As you can see here, hooked up a chain, lifted, tipped it over, put it on the blocks. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to remove all drain pan holding screws. Last 3 more screws left, and then we can reveal the content of our oil pan. Here we go. Here's the last one, and 30 of them. All right. 2 helpful pry bars to pry the oil pan. There's a gasket. It's stuck. I will go at the corner. She won't damage the surface of the block and the oil pan. Just to carefully grab the corner like that, very, very back, and pry it up. All right. Oh, moment of truth. Try to be careful. The gasket will be replaced anyway. I'll just move the camera up. All right, here we go. It's dirty, it's milky, slimy. Main thing, we don't see any chunks of metal. All this contaminated engine oil, the water, some rust, yes, slimy, greasy oil mixture. Yeah, anyway, so far so good. Let's put the oil pan aside for now. We'll clean it later. Let's inspect our pickup for any metal debris, any contaminations. Here's the sump, and yeah, nice and clean. I mean, clean. There's no any metal shavings, any metal particles, just dirt, the oil. Yeah, here's our crankshaft. There's the connecting rods, bearings, main bearings, journals. Yeah, you can see now everything's better. Here's our dipsticks sticking out. We only can see cylinder number 1 and number 2, connecting rods, weights, and main journals. Yeah, let's remove our balancer assembly next. Here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balancer assembly retaining bolts. There's a sump. Here's a bungee bolt, oil transfer pipe on the back, as you can see. Yeah, remove that, and that way we will see cylinder number 3 and number 4 and see what's happening. So far everything looks just fine. Don't have any play on a connecting rod bearing. I see some heat marks. As you can see, there's discoloration. Well, too early to say what's happened. Let's just rotate and see. Cylinder number 2, everything is turning, only to some point. Yeah, no play on a connecting rod bearing cylinder number 2. Yeah, and it stops here. Okay, let's remove the balancer shaft assembly and see what's underneath. Two 10mm bolts holding the sump to the balancer shaft assembly. There we go. Let's take this sump off. That's it. Yeah, it all popped right off. Now we can remove the tubing. All right. I like to keep all bolts in place. Just threaded them back. Okay, let's get them together. 13mm deep socket to remove the bungee bolts on the oil transfer tubing. Okay, I'll just crack this one loose like that. There we go. Remove it completely. Break them loose. There we go. Tiny rigid, pretty powerful. There we go. And pay attention to the shims underneath. Okay. No problem. Cream and butter. There's the shims. Won't lose it. All right, here we go. Put it aside. There's a shim. Yeah, just like this. One on the other side. That. Yep. As you can see, yeah, there's original position for the shims. There's a oil passage. Yeah, sitting like that. All right. Balancer shaft assembly is removed. I'll just wipe the oil a little bit. I'll just make it a little bit cleaner to see the actual metal surface. Yeah, let's do the visual inspection before popping the pistons out. Yeah, we can see quite a bit. Okay, we'll start with the cylinder number 1. We'll check the play and the connecting rod bearing, and don't have any play from side to side. Let's check the axial play. Very little, which is supposed to be nice. Okay, let's take a look down and look at our connecting rod. So far from this angle, rod looks just fine, nice and straight, and the skirt is not biting counterweights, and piston is going down. Awesome. Okay, so far so good. And we also have this high temperature overheating marks at the connecting rod bearing. Okay, let's move to the cylinder number 2 and see what we have on this side. Okay, good angle to look at our connecting rod. Looks straight, nice, no any damage. It's lined up straight, and as you can see, piston skirt is not biting a counterweight. It's actually passing through. Nice. Okay, and we have the same overheating discoloration mark, and you see the gap between the piston skirt and counterweight on crankshaft. So far so good. Let's bring the piston a bit up over here and check for play. Nope, no play from side to side. A little bit tighter on the axle. Okay, don't worry about that right now. Number 3. Let's just wipe this oil a little bit. See better. I don't like those heat marks. It was hot. Okay, let's check the plate. No play, everything's tight, nothing's loose. Okay, let's take a look on our skirt and the connection rod. See what we have there. Okay, can we turn more? Just have a better look. Yeah, a little bit of rust. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Piston rod is inside. Yeah. The pin is there, as you can see. Yeah, a little bit of rust at the end of the piston connecting rod. And main thing, we want to see if the skirt touches the crankshaft counterweight. Come on, can focus please. Alright, and so far I don't see that. Hard to tell. Improve the focus. Doesn't turn anymore. Okay, let's so far so good. Let's move to number 4 at the very end. See what we have here. Okay, don't have any damage to the piston rod. Okay, I cannot turn counterclockwise anymore. We'll just switch and go another direction. Okay. And number 4, let's focus please. Hard to tell, but I think we have a bent connecting rod on cylinder number 4. If you look down where the piston skirt over here, and there's a crankshaft counterweight over here. They're touching each other over here. Yep, that's why it's not turning. 360, and yeah, they're right in the slot. Okay, skirt is down. Now it's coming up and bites. Here we go, and we have a bend, slightly connecting rod. Yeah, it's slightly bent, just enough to bite the crankshaft counterweight. Yeah, and that skirt doesn't pass, doesn't rotate. Let's take a cylinder number 4 piston out and inspect that connecting rod, and we'll see, yeah, what's wrong with that. 14mm socket. Sure it does. Get a nut out first before taking another one off. There we go. Remember the orientation. That's critical if you're going to reuse the cap. Okay, have one more. There we go. Let's give it. Nice. Okay. Let's pull the nut out. The one broke. Alright, good. I'm going to wipe it. That oil we have on the top of the cap. Alright, and now we can actually get a piston out. Yeah, before pulling the piston out, let's rotate the engine and see if it will turn 360. We have nuts removed, and it should. Okay, it's pulled out. Yeah. Okay. Now we can bring our cap up. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, let's take the cap off. All right. zero cap. Remove like that. Let's take the bearing off. There we go, like that. Keep it everything in its original place. And as you can see, it has a lock here. Bearing looks almost like new. No scoring, no deep grooves. Bearing looks almost like new. Yeah, regular wear for 6,000 hours. Nice and silky smooth, no grooves, no wear and tear. All good. It wasn't overheated, and that heat mark is probably from the factory when crankshaft was forged, manufactured. Yeah, bearing looks really good. This number 4 is facing forward like that. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's pull the piston out now. Almost. Yeah, oh, look at that. Connecting rod is not straight. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. That's the way it is. Yeah. Now we can compare how connecting rod should look like. As you can see, nice and straight. Cap is on the bottom on the studs, and we have a wrist pin here, and what we have you already saw, and doesn't look straight at all, and our cap doesn't fit because this part is tweaked as well. As you can see here, it's off a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. And yeah, I have a feeling that we have more than one bent piston connecting rod, and this is a good good example that liquid never ever compress. Yeah, well, much better, yeah. Oi, oi, oi. Well, and our engine still doesn't turn 360 degrees. Number 3, there we go. Not too bad, but slightly bent, looks like. It's bent a little bit less than number 4, but it's not straight. It started to rain. It's raining pretty good. It has been raining for almost half an hour. We definitely need it. Okay, let's see if we can turn the engine 360 now with the 2 pistons removed. Interesting. Now it's turning. Aha! Now we're turning 360s, as you can see. Okay. Set this mark up and let's turn it all the way. There we go. Finally, we made it engine to turn 360 degrees, and well, number 3 slightly bent, not too bad, well, not acceptable compared to number 4, which is totally messed up. Yep, looks drunk. Okay, this one's a little bit off, and now you can see how even shorter this guy is. Oh well.